Welcome everyone to Biology 120. This is week 1, so we are just now getting started. My name is Dr. Janie Sigmon. I'll be your instructor, and I want to welcome you to the course. Let us get started and see what we've got going on today and this week. So first of all, read chapter 1 in the textbook. Isn't that where you always start? We have a free textbook, an OpenStax textbook. If you just Google OpenStax Biology, you will find our textbook, okay? It's Biology's second edition. So be sure and read chapter 1. It's always best when you start a course to read chapter 1 in the textbook because it gives you an overview of the textbook, but it also gives you an overview of the course, okay? You also have 2 videos to watch about the scientific method and life, especially like the one on life. And read the article on the giant viruses because you're going to need that for your journal entry this week. Okay, so you have a couple of things to do this week. You have discussion board postings. You have 3 of those. And you have a journal article that you will write, a journal entry assignment. So let's talk about the discussion board post first. Your initial post is due by Thursday night at midnight. Okay, so the deadline for this is not Sunday like in some courses. It is Thursday night. You have to have your initial post in. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to talk about your background, your life, you know, what it is your life like. Your career goals. So are you an environmental science major? Do you want to do conservation? Are you going on to medical school? Tell us about what your career goals are and how this course is going to help you in your new career. This should be about 1 or 2 paragraphs, not 1 sentence. 1 sentence doesn't do it for me. That's just not enough. That doesn't tell us anything about you, most likely, unless it is the world's longest sentence, which we don't want to read either. Okay, so anyway, then you're also going to explain the scientific method and its importance in biology. Why do we use it in biology? And you're going to give an example of how you have used it in your everyday life. Now, all of us, if we are adults, we have used the scientific method because we problem solve every single day, don't we? And we use the scientific method all the time to figure out how to solve a problem. So you can figure out one that you use this with. You'll also be required to have 2 response posts. So response posts are posts that you post to your classmates. These are due by Sunday night, and you will do 2 of them. Include what you have in common with this person because you will find people in your class that you have things in common with. And also I want you to share tips and resources that have helped you in your studies. So are they YouTube videos? Are they a resource at the college, the advising center, the tutoring center, you know? What are the resources that you use to help back you up in your courses? These response posts must be substantive. And what does that mean? Well, that means they've got to have some information in them. For you to get on here and just say, oh man, you had a great post. I really like that. Okay, that's awesome. I'm glad that you like it, but you need more information than that. Okay, so be substantive. There are things that you need to write about, which I've just described. So anyway, all right, and then you're going to complete a journal entry on what it means to be alive or not be alive. So you're going to talk about the properties of life. I have them listed right here from your textbook. Okay, if you look at other sources, they have different numbers of properties of life. Like I've seen as few as 4, but I've seen 6, 8, 9, 4, you know, so many different numbers. And sometimes people will combine these. Okay, that's all right, but let's just work from the same list here. So here they are. Order, sensitivity, reproduction, adaptation, growth and development, regulation, energy processing, and evolution. So let's just work with these 9 properties of life. And you're going to discuss the article about the giant viruses. Now, I'm a microbiologist. have a PhD in microbiology. And so microbiologists do not consider viruses to be alive because of this one thing. They do not meet all of these properties of life. They don't do any energy processing. They have no metabolism. They don't break down food to make energy like organisms do, okay? There are organisms and then there are viruses. So you can see that we don't consider viruses organisms or living because we don't classify them as organisms. They don't grow on their own. They don't even reproduce on their own. They have to hijack host cells in order to get anything done. So viruses are absolutely necessarily parasites. They hijack host cells, take over the host cell machinery, and cause that machinery to do what they want them to do. The reason that computer viruses were named viruses is because they act just like real, normal, everyday viruses. So how does a computer virus work? It's just a little bit of information that comes into your computer and hijacks your email system or hijacks your operating system or whatever it does and causes changes, right? So that's what viruses do. They get inside your cells and they change up what's going on in that cell until the cell does what it wants the virus to do. All right, so that's a short explanation about viruses. And I'll be talking about them more because, of course, we're still dealing with COVID and SARS-CoV-2, which is the virus that causes COVID. I will be talking about that more during this term, for sure. And if you ever have any questions, just let me know. All right, and then I wanted to give you some hints for Biology 120. Every single week, I will post a video in the announcements. I will have an announcement, but with a video. Please watch my videos every week. You might say, well, that's 15 or 20 minutes that I'm wasting. No, you're not wasting 15 or 20 minutes because I always give you hints. I give you reminders. I give you tips. I give you help. So please watch my videos every week in the announcements. Deadlines are important. For this course, it's always going to be Thursday and Sunday. Thursdays, you always have to have your initial discussion board post in. Sundays, you have to have everything else in, those response posts and any other assignments that are due. Also, you need to follow the guidelines and rubric for each assignment. There is a set of guidelines that tell you what to do for each assignment, and the rubric is the way that this assignment is graded. So you can see exactly the form that I'm going to use to grade your assignment even before you do it. So please follow those. They are tremendously important. I will give you feedback as we go along. So please read that feedback. It is important. I will give you feedback on every rubric that I ever grade. I will give you feedback overall over an assignment, just a general feedback that you can read, but also on the rubric, I give you feedback. Label everything that you do. Label it with the assignment name, your name, my name, the term, right? Even the date. Label everything. Label every section. It never hurts to include the questions that you are answering. So label, 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 label everything. And when in doubt, or you're in trouble, or you get sick, or anything comes up, please get in touch with me. I'm just one email message away, m.sigmon@snhu.edu. I am here to help you. As I said in my welcome video, this is the only job that I have right now because I'm retired. I teach one course online every term. And so that means my focus is on you. And I want you to succeed. I will help you any way that I can. So please do call on me if you need anything. I am here for you. And I will be here and you'll see my face every single week. I also have office hours every week. I'll have them on Sunday nights, 6 to 7, 6 to about 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Sunday evening, unless I tell you differently. That's just a time when I will be on the computer and you can come in and ask me questions. They are optional, but I'm here for you. If you need to ask me questions or get clarification on something, I do have those office hours. If you need to meet with me a different time, I will be glad to do that. We can set that up. So all you have to do is ask. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful first week. I'm looking so forward to meeting you and finding out about you and what your interests are and what your careers are going to be. So let's get started and have a great term in biology.